Hi there, my name is Hannah, and today our group is going to be talking a little bit about Redstone Residential. The next slide. So Redstone Residential is a property management company that's based in Provo, Utah. The company buys and manages apartment communities specializing in student living. The main purpose of Redstone is to help fund apartments and analyze their businesses' sales, performance, and competition. Then from there, they can offer tools that will help them grow, such as training, advertising, and remodels. The CEO, Grant Collard, founded Redstone in 2009. Redstone quickly grew in the market, acquiring over 300 properties in the US, more recently in the East Coast. Just in the last 2 years, they've actually gained two properties here in Muncie. The reason we chose to do Redstone was because I am a current employee there. I've worked for them for about 2 years now. And while I do enjoy working for them, there are definitely some issues on a different level. So if you want to hit that next slide. The company continues to grow, but however, they have run into some internal issues that can affect their profitability and overall success in the long run. The three main issues that our group has found is going to be the toxic work environment, transparency and honesty with their residents, and then customer service. Today, we'd like to present those findings as well as possible solutions for these issues.
All right, for the corporate level issue, the main focus we got was toxic work environment. Next slide. So at the corporate level, Redstone Residential faces multiple problems that can overall threaten their growth for their company. The company culture and work-life balance have had the lowest reviews. Employees voice their opinions on the negative and toxic environment, also exceptionally long work hours. So with this work environment, this causes a lot of staff to feel depressed and overall burnout within the company. So a lack of focus from corporate management will cause this company to continue to go downhill. So the leadership within Redstone Residential must look to improve. Next slide. All right, so some solutions that we came up with is to fix the burnout and negative work environment will be acts of kindness that go a long way. So this might be bringing in donuts or even coffee to your employees to make them feel like valued within the company, and maybe even doing an award. So make them strive for something within the company, like Employee of the Month. This is huge to make them not just feel like another person within the company. So this will overall motivate employees to strive for improvement and work with pride overall. Next slide. So as previously discussed, solutions in Redstone Residential. So with implementing those solutions, we must focus on improving the regional level first. So due to Redstone being a very large company with many branches, with many properties that they have owned, they can start by focusing on working within the managers that they have that will fall down to the staff that they have. So just working at the top, knowing that it will fall back down, and even scheduling monthly appreciation events like coffee pick-me-ups, just allow the atmosphere within the company to grow overall. Next slide. And the evaluation. So doing surveys to have employees voice their opinions on how the company is. It has to be on an outside source though, because if you're not going to be very honest with just being face to face. So we think having a source on the outside will make sure that they're very honest overall. And then use this detail that the data has from the surveys to grow as a company overall. And quantitative, do the turnover rate by calculating the percentage of workers leaving within the company. This will reflect everything. So take those numbers, and if they're not looking too good, there has to be a reason why. So try to grow overall from that. So use that data to grow as a company. Next slide.
Good afternoon. My name is Seth Drum, and I will be covering the business level issues. Next slide, please. Redstone Residential has had an issue with not being fully honest with their tenants. They're currently battling legal issues as well as unfair practices due to lack of transparency. Another reason for their lack of transparency is they're remaining inflexible, and they have the lack of empathy to their tenants, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Next slide, please. There's two ways that Redstone Residential could resolve this. Number one being a tenant portal. This portal will be accessible to all tenants via the internet, and it's a place where they can go and check on the daily status of their building or their complex. They can have their utilities on there. You can have their rent on there, as well as information on how to pay. It could have information on upcoming events, and it's just a way that the Redstone Residential can actually reach out to each tenant individually and kind of make them feel special. The second way, if they didn't want to do, maybe the tenants are a little bit older and they don't want to do the internet, they can do a monthly newsletter. It could be sent monthly, it could be sent quarterly, and basically say the same things, reaching out to that tenant on the individual level, making them kind of feel special rather than just, hey, we're here for your money type thing. Next slide, please. How we can implement this is monthly newsletters, obviously put them in their mailbox or deliver them door to door. Like I said, getting that extra special attention, delivering them door to door. Information about dates, prices, events, like I mentioned before. Document access through the new portal. Help the tenants actually set up, if they're not familiar with the internet and they do decide to do more of a virtual event, helping the tenants actually set that up. And then also billing issues handled through the portal. Next slide, please. To get that quality feedback on how we can evaluate these issues and see if the solutions are working is to call a town hall meeting, open forum, and ask questions, ask the tenants just straight up, hey, what can we do better? Or what are the things that we can improve on? Even go as far as, hey, what do you like about the company? What do you like about it? So we can keep to sustain those things for the tenants. Encourage open discussion, kind of create that environment where there's no hard feelings. We're all adults, and have them answer those questions and brutally honest. The next thing would be for quantitative is pulling the data and looking at how many tenants are actually renewing their leases. Are they leaving early? Are they leaving before that 12-month lease is up? Are they leaving right after that 12 months? Or are they renewing and saying, hey, this company's great, we like that? After you get that data, you can compare it to other rental companies within the area to see if you're on par, above, or below. And then also you can use that data to account for different demographics. Are you renting to college students? Are you renting to low-income families? Are you renting in a pricier neighborhood? And that's the way we can evaluate those things. Next slide.
All right, so my name is Brady, and I'm gonna be going over the operational level issues. And the main thing that Redstone's kind of run into is their customer service. Kind of goes along with a little bit of that a business level issue. You know, when they do have these complaints and the company's not being trustworthy, you have a lot of complaints coming in, and without a customer service team to take care of it, it presents a large issue. So the issue diagnosis starting out, we originally were looking for issues within the company, and we came across this Better Business Bureau, which is a company that kind of takes like major complaints from companies and puts them all on one website where you can see the recent complaints. And in our initial research, we found 10 complaints about security deposits, 8 about faulty billing, and 16 about maintenance or service. And the thing that was driving the customers most angry was that they didn't have anybody to help them with these issues. They complained about it repetitively, and still were not coming to solutions. And then if this took us to look, you know, who's inside the company that's actually dealing with all this, I thought maybe they'd have a customer service team or something like that. But as you can see from this video, it shows all their leadership, and there's only one person on here that has the title of human relations or human resources. And they don't have anybody that's directly in charge of customer service. And Hannah, who's worked there, said that most complaints are just directed to a regional manager. So there's not really anybody specific that's taking care of these complaints. So the solution that we are proposing is to hire a designated customer service team. There's a void in the company that would be filled if if this were to happen. There's this research that talks about HFLEs, which are human frontline employees, and they say that within customer service, they're inseparable. So even if you have a bunch of technology and a lot of people working within the company, you have to have frontline employees. They're helping with the customer service. So what they would do, they would basically do what most customer service people do. They receive and deal with complaints and manage the complaints and direct them in the best course of action. And then also ensure the technology that we're proposing in the next slide is working effectively. But the company really needs this because they don't have anybody that's specifically designated to these customer service complaints. Another addition that they could implement is artificial intelligent chatbots. I know a lot of people have probably already used them, whether it be at a doctor's visit or booking a hotel or something like that. But there's been a lot of success using these within customer service. They're not 100% foolproof. You still need those people that can provide the empathy and the human-to-human interaction, but they do present benefits like cost savings, 24/7 availability. They can actually categorize your complaints, and then customers get quickly directed to solutions for the less complex complaints. So this right here comes from a research study, and it just kind of shows the top priorities of service. And as you can see, the 1 through 5, reliability, responsiveness, assurance, tangibles, and empathy. Those are, the highest rated things. And with the 24/7 service that the AI chatbots would provide, that would give us reliability and responsiveness. But the human aspect of it with the customer service team would also give us the last 3 with the assurance, the tangibles, and the empathy. So implementing this, obviously hiring a customer service team, that's going to take a lot of budgeting. They're going to have to evaluate their budget that they currently have and switch around their where they're spending their money to take on the onboarding costs and the salaries and the cost of creating, even a new office area for this new team. Another option would be for them to outsource their customer service, which is probably the more likely solution for a company like Redstone, since they're already established. Outsourcing it would be a lot cheaper, and you could link it to the HR department, but this would take some time as they would have to set up the service and then also ensure that the provider understands what the Redstone's looking for out of this. So those are kind of the 2 ways that you could implement the new customer service team. And then as far as implementing the chatbots, an industry that has seen a lot of success with this is the hotel industry. So you can see there's this survey of over 1,000 hotels across 78 countries, and 2 of the chatbot brands that kind of stand out are Quick Text and AppSuite. So Redstone could pick one of these. Usually their costs start around $100 a month, and so they'd obviously have to budget for that. But these are two companies that have kind of been proven in the area. And then evaluating this, obviously surveys are a big part of the qualitative side of it. They'd be sent directly to tenants following any interaction. Then they'd also be embedded into the chatbots to where they'd get it immediately. And they'd pose open-ended questions such as like, were you pleased with the timeliness of your response and the solution that was reached, and what aspects were lacking? So then we can constantly be reevaluating how our customer service is. And then on the quantitative side, obviously monitor the number of customer service complaints, compare it to those previous numbers that we showed in our issue diagnosis. And then also on the AI side, track the response time and the issue resolution. This research that we found shows that 42-second is kind of the response time we're looking for, as well as a 30% issue resolution strictly through the chatbots.
Okay, the conclusion on how the Redstone Residential Company can build and maintain a strategic competitive advantage. Next slide. After discussing the 3 different areas that this company is currently suffering from, With the solutions also discussed, they will be able to maintain a better strategic competitive advantage by, hold on. Sorry, y'all. I just got distracted. We're going to start out. Basically, after discussing the different areas that Redstone Residential is currently suffering from, with these solutions, they will be able to build and maintain a better strategic competitive advantage. The solution to the 3 issues talked about, which were toxic work environment, transparency and honesty with tenants, and customer service within the Redstone Residential Company, it can lead to a long-term success by making the company's culture, work environment, and customer service components a competitive advantage. The company can achieve a sustainable competitive advantage over their competitors with the correct implementation/actions and the evaluations between the qualitative and quantitative data to help the company gain a better market share in the rental property